You thought we were done with the Pokemon purge? We're just getting started. Thundurus, where'd he go? Braviary? Up, Geodude. This is no place to die. Pikachu? I don't feel so good. So in my last video on this topic, I listed 50 Pokemon that I was very confident we would not be seeing in Sword and Shield. And if you haven't seen that video yet, I'll put the link down in the description. You should go check it out. It's a good watch. So why am I doing this topic again then? Well, worst case scenario, those 50 Pokemon I mentioned before will not be in Sword and Shield. But that still leaves us with 759 Pokemon, not including alternate forms, not including regional variants. And that's just way too many Pokemon. Which means we need to make some more cuts. And just like last time, we're going to start with Gen 2, because we all know no Gen 1 Pokemon is getting cut from this game. All the Gen 1 Pokemon are going to be in Sword and Shield. We all know it. We can all feel it in our hearts. I'm willing to bet my firstborn child on it. So, that being said, let's jump into Gen 2. So, the first Pokemon in Gen 2 are Hoppip, Skiploom, and Jumpluff. And these are here for the same reason as Cottony and Whimsicott in the last video. They're just too similar to Eldegoss, the new grass Pokemon that was announced for Sword and Shield. Also in Gen 2 joining them are Dunsparce and Quillfish. Now as a Dunsparce fan myself, this hurts me to say, but they're just forgettable Pokemon and there's just no room in the Galar Dex for these two. Alright, so for Gen 3, these first two might be a bit controversial, and I think there might be a few controversial choices on this list. So I chose Plusle and Minun. We are currently living in a world where there are so many Pikachu clones, we just can't cram them all in one game anymore. So I feel like Plusle and Minun, along with a lot of other Pikachu clones that I'll be going over, are getting cut from Sword and Shield. Next up we have Kecleon, and this goes back to what they were saying before about how they want like the Pokedex to more represent the region of like Galar, which is in Europe. I think a chameleon is more as like an exotic animal, so I can't see it being in the Galar Dex. Next up we have Luvdisc, and I don't know how I missed this one on the first list. This is the most worthless Pokemon. No evolutions, it's weak, it's unimaginative, and I cannot see them choosing this over something like, say, Haxorus or something. Like, there's no way a Luvdisc makes it in here. Next up I have Gulpin and Swalot. They're just here because they're just a worse version of Grimer and Muk, honestly. And that's not me being a Gen 1 or anything. Gen 3 is actually my favorite generation. We're going by the theory that all Gen 1 Pokemon are going to be in this game. There's no room for Swalot or Gulpin. Next up we have Chimecho, another forgettable Pokemon. I don't know why this Pokemon got a pre-evolution, and spoilers, we're going to be seeing its pre-evolution on this list a little bit later down. Alright, so for Gen 4, we have quite a short list actually. Nothing can touch Gen 4. I mean, it's probably because like a lot of it's just like evolutions of the first generation. So I have Pachirisu, and it's just another Pikachu clone. Also, on top of it being a Pikachu clone for the generation, apparently there's a new squirrel Pokemon that hasn't been announced yet, but there's a lot of theories about it. There's a lot of like artwork of the squirrel on people's shirts. So I can't see them having that squirrel and Pachirisu. It's just too many squirrels. And you know what they say, when you have too many squirrels, you go nuts. Like squirrels eat nuts, and there's squirrels. Chingling. Same reason as Chimecho. It's why is this a Pokemon? Why is it a baby? Why does Chimecho of all Pokemon need a baby? Like, there's so many Pokemon that could have used like a different evolution. Like, give something to Farfetch'd, not goddamn Chimecho. Who cares what Chimecho? And last up for Gen 4, we have Chatot, and this is for the same reason as Kecleon. It does not fit the region. It's an exotic animal, and it does not fit the region that's based off of, you know, not so exotic England. Alright, so Gen 5, once again, kind of get the short end of the stick here, and I feel like anyone who's watching my videos really probably thinks I have like a grudge against Gen 5 or something. I don't. It's just, I don't know. The generation just feels like it has the least like inspired Pokemon, and when you're trying to pick the best of the best, these guys don't have a good showing. So, first up, we have Purloin and Liepard. They're just forgettable cats. Like, we're gonna have Meowth, we're gonna have Persian, we might have Skitty and not Espeon. What the fuck does Skitty evolve into? Delcatty. So there's just no room for these guys. Next up on the list we have Basculin. He's just a forgettable fish Pokemon. Sure, he has different variants, but that's not enough to save him. He's just not interesting enough to make the cut. Alright, next up we have Darumaka and Darmanitan. And this is more or less the same reasoning as Basculin. I mean, sure, Darmanitan has alternate forms, but it's just not interesting enough to save him from this cut. Alright, next up we have Dwebble and Crustle. These are more or less worse versions of Krabby and Kingler. The next three are kind of like a little trio here. We have Sigilyph, Yamask, and Cofagrigus. They're all this weird, forgettable Pokemon. I think Sigilyph might have a chance of showing up, because I remember in the first trailer, if you remember on the hillside, there was a bunch of giant drawings, and I think maybe like those could be related to Sigilyph because he's like a hieroglyphic Pokemon. Chances are it won't be, but I think out of anything on this list, he has the best chance of being there. But chances are that's just like a drawing representing either Melmetal or the third legendary for the game we haven't seen yet. Ducklet and Swanna. I mean, okay, so I hate to say it, they have a good chance of showing up because it's a duck and a swan. They fit the region. They haven't been in many other games, but they're just so boring. And their design is literally a duck and a swan. So there's a chance they could be in the game. I don't want them to be in the game. They don't fit. They just don't fit. This is truly supposed to be the best of the best. They shouldn't be in there. But then again, Rolex is in there, so I mean, who knows what's going on with this Pokedex anymore? Alomomola, or
Alomomola.
This thing, yeah. So it's just Love Disc again, but it's not Love Disc. 'Cause Love Disc doesn't evolve into it, which it should. It clearly should evolve into Alomomola, but it doesn't. So, I mean, that's just two spots, you know? There's no way they're having either of these Pokemon in there, especially if they don't evolve into each other. Alright, we also have Ferroseed and Ferrothorn. There's nothing really inherently wrong with these Pokemon. I just think we're gonna have so many choices for Steel and Grass Pokemon that these guys just don't measure up. I'm pretty sure Ferrothorn is used competitively, so there's might be a chance they bring him in. But they also said they want to. One of the reasonings for this cut was to help balancing for battles and stuff. So who knows? It may try to shake up the meta, and Ferrothorn might not make the cut. All right, so then we have Bouffalant. Assuming Tauros will be in the game, which he will be because Gen 1. I can't see another Buffalo Pokemon. It's just they're too similar. Even though Bouffalant has a pretty cool afro and Tauros doesn't. But you know, whatever. Beggars can't be choosers. Alright, next up we have Heatmor and Durant. This is a paired Pokemon couple, and they're just not that interesting compared to like Zangoose and Seviper. I'd say either these two are going to be in the game and Zangoose and Seviper won't be, or vice versa. We're not going to see all four of those Pokemon together. But on the bright side, that's the last of Gen 5, so I don't need to shit on that anymore. For Gen 6, another short list. We have Carbink, just another forgettable Pokemon, and I can't see it taking up a spot. Klefki. I don't know, man. Klefki's a weird Pokemon. It's just, it's keys. It's keys. I mean, it fits the region, I guess. I guess people in England drive, so there's keys and stuff. They have houses, but like, I don't know. It feels weird, like going onto the wildlands or wherever it is, the wild, and finding some keys just floating around. I love to be wrong about any of these Pokemon, but this person, I can't see it. And finally, rounding out Gen 6, we have Danny Phantom. Another Pikachu clone. There's too many Pikachu clones. There's too many. We don't have enough space for all these Pikachu clones. You know that sketch, Too Many Chefs? It's like that, but with Pikachus. Alright, on to Gen 7. I was not as generous as I was last time with Gen 7. I'm just going to list all these guys off because they're all for the same reason. Comfey, Oranguru, Passimian, Sandygast, Palossand, Pyukumuku, and Kamala. They just do not fit the region of Galar, which is based on England. These are all exotic Pokemon. Other than Kamala, who's he's a koala, so he's Australian. So he doesn't fit with England's culture, but I guess he makes the most sense. I guess Sandygast, Palossand also could do it because I'm sure there's beaches in England, but I can't see it. Next up, we have Turtonator. This is basically just Druddigon 2.0. I hate Turtonator. It's a bad Pokemon. Next up, we have Togedemaru. Another Pikachu clone, same reasoning as before. There's too many of them. The only Pikachus are going to be in this game are Pikachu and Mimikyu, because they make a lot of money. No one's buying Togedemaru plushes. No one's buying Danny Phantom plushes. No one's buying Plus One Minun plushes. People are buying Mimikyu and Pikachu merch. That's why they want to sell these Pokemon. It makes sense from a logical standpoint. From a business standpoint, these two Pokemon will be in the game. I'm willing to bet a lot of money on it. Not really, I'm very broke. Please don't make me bet more money than I already have on this. Alright, next up we have Drampa. What a boring ass Pokemon. With so many good dragon types. Dragonite, Haxorus, Goodra, I almost said Dredagon. Jesus, what is wrong with me? There's so many good dragon Pokemon. And they can't consciously decide to put Drampa in this game and not put one of them in. It does not make sense. And they're making limited decks. It has to be the best of the best. So the final 4 Pokemon, I made the executive decision to put some legendaries on this list because I didn't put any on the last one. So the final 4 are Tapu Koko, Tapu Lele, Tapu Bulu, and Tapu Fini. These are exotic legendaries. They are the protectors of Alola, and it does not make sense, logically speaking, for them to be in the Galar region. So now we're up to 100 Pokemon that we will not be seeing in Sword and Shield. I still feel like we'll be seeing a large number of legendaries and starters being cut, but I'm hoping for the best in that case. I want to bring my Mudkip with me, goddammit. Are there any Pokemon that I missed that you think will not be in Sword and Shield? Let me know in the comments below, and let me know what Pokemon you're hoping will make it into Sword and Shield. And until next time, goodbye, trainers.